I'm going to show you how to trade the pound yen for the rest of this week and make some money. Stay tuned until the end so I can show you what news events that you need to watch out for. What's going on, everyone? I'm back with another pound yen chart breakdown video. As always, I'm going to go over the pound yen. I'm going to look at the new levels that have been created, and I'm going to look at the new scenarios for this upcoming week. Please remember, like, comment, subscribe. It really helps the channel out. Also, don't forget, you can join our Discord community using the link in the description. Every single morning before the London session opens, we're writing down our game plan for the whole session and our ideas and zones that we're looking to trade from. Let's get into this video. So to begin, I'm looking at the daily time frame. So one main thing to point out on the daily is that we have not yet gotten a close below the 183, which was this previous high area. We have now gotten a previous close below this 183.70 though. So one important close below, but another area where it didn't close below. So we'll have to see where price ends up moving. So the higher time frame trend is still in a higher time frame uptrend, as we can see. So this may just be a small corrective pullback before the longs take over and keep pushing price up. But we do have a lot of news this week that can impact the direction of the pound yen. Another thing to look for on this daily chart is the trend line. So this trend line is still valid. We can see price has tested it 3 times and it hasn't yet touched it again or invalidated it yet. So it's something that I still have up on the chart and I'm still waiting to see if price wants to retest or not. I'm going to go down onto the hour time frame now. We can see the price since the Asian session opened on Sunday evening has been consolidating in a range. So this area is not the largest. It's 100 pips. Price has just been moving back and forth and it's been stuck in this mini range with no real direction at all. So something that got created on Sunday night was this very large gap. So this gap is 60 pips. So it's unusual in Forex to have gaps because it's a 24-hour market and it's open 5 days or 5.5 days of the week. It's closed on the weekends. So it is unusual to have a gap, but it's also very important to notice when we do get gaps. Usually on Forex, when we do get a gap, the gap gets closed. So we could see price break the range high, close the gap, and then get a reaction down from the end of the gap. So that is one of my scenarios that I'm looking out for. Just the gap getting closed and filled completely. Another scenario that we could have is price going short from where it's at right now, around the top of this range, and going back down into the low of the range. One thing to look out for though is these lows. So currently the lows have been getting higher. So we may have a trend line start to form. So we could see price react down from the top of the range, retest this trend line and come back up. If something like this does happen, it may be indicative of the buyers stepping in from the higher time frame and buyers coming in all the way to push it back up to the higher time frame trend line at 185. So that's something to watch out for in the next few days. It's not something that will happen in one day. Another scenario that I would look out for is price to break all the way long into the 184.30 to 40 area to get a reaction short. And another scenario to happen is it to break the 30 to 40, retest either the 80 level to go short or retest the 185 at the higher time frame trend line to go back short again. Again, if you break this trend line, it could pull back to the trend line and keep going long afterwards. So this is looking many days in advance or maybe next week. It depends on the news that comes out and how big of an effect it has on this chart. If price decides to go short instead, we could see price retest the low of the range at 182.80 and see a reaction back up into the highs to keep the price ranging within this tight range. Or we could see price break below the 80, test the 50, or even lower to the 20, where the higher time frame could step in long again. But if we get a close below 183 area, which is right here, if we get a close below on the daily, I would be looking more for the shorts, thinking that since we broke that previous high on the daily chart, price could continue moving short. Now let's look at the news. So we do have lots of news for this week still coming up. So Wednesday, tomorrow at 2 a.m., Frankfurt session open. We have pound GDP news, which can move the market a lot. We also have core CPI CPI on the dollar at 8:30 for the US session. This is really big news. Even though it's the dollar and I'm trading the pound yen, it can still have a very big impact on the pound yen. Now I'm looking at Thursday, where we have Euro monetary policy statement. This is the biggest news for the week. The euro can always affect the pound a lot since they move together or inversely most of the time. So it could have a massive impact on the pound and the direction of the pound yen. We also have dollar retail sales and unemployment claims to look out for. That's it for this video. Please remember, like, comment, subscribe. It really helps me out. Good luck trading for this week. I hope you all do well and make some money.